Today I was going to be doing some work with the laser and I discovered something. Come take a look. So my laser's been getting a lot of use lately, and this thing looks like it's been used to smoke briskets for the last month. So cleaning the laser is a fairly simple process, and it only takes a few things to get it done. We need some isopropyl alcohol, some electronics cleaner or canned air, some grill cleaner, some Q-tips, a good brush, a lint-free cloth, and some paper towels. I'll start by powering everything down and disconnecting it, removing the air assist tube and removing the laser module. Next, I'm going to remove the outer shroud that protects it. Remove the laser bed. And I use some blocking to raise the bed up and down instead of removing all those spacers that are underneath of the gantry. I'm just going to give everything a good wipe down to begin with. And then I'll take some isopropyl alcohol and I'll wipe down the guides that the rollers run on that allow the laser to move around. I'm making sure to get both sides and the top guide as well. Once I clean those, I'll clean the wheels. And then I'll use some canned air to spray out the circuit board. And I'm going to begin taking apart the laser module itself. Now this thing was filthy. And it really didn't take that long to get that way. So cleaning the laser is something that really should be done every 1 to 2 weeks if your laser is used regularly, just as this one is. I'm going to finish taking everything apart so I can clean it thoroughly. I'm going to take off the nozzle that protects the lens. And here's the lens. It looks to be clean, but I'll touch it up later. I'm going to take a brush and I'm going to start working all that particulate buildup that's on the fan, and in a moment I'll work on the rest of the module. Now once I've removed all the soot that I can with the brush, I'll move to using some canned air to blow everything out. Now off screen, I'm actually going to use my air compressor to do this. I have a moisture filter and I don't have any oil going through that line at this time. Probably not the best way to do it, but there was a lot of buildup in this thing. So big thing is just inspecting it and making sure that there's no moisture. And here you can see the air passages are all clear. So I'm going to move to cleaning the lens. I'm just going to dab the lens, don't want to scrub it. And I'm going to clean up the nozzle and start putting this thing back together. Now the exhaust fan for the housing, it's absolutely filthy. It's going to take some work. So I'm going to clean that up off camera and get this housing back together. That's much better. So you may be wondering by this point, what do I need the grill cleaner for? Well, this honeycomb bed is covered. This isn't really a soot. This is more like the material that comes out from the plywood, and you get all the oils and stuff from the wood. So this thing is caked up and you'll see it really good with this underneath. Now, as you can see, we've got some of the little pieces that come out as I make cuts, but there's also this sappy material. It's kind of set up good now, but this stuff, it seems like it's impossible to remove, and I tested a lot of different cleaners with it. But one thing I did find that works well is grill cleaner. Now at this point, I do want to mention, I forgot a couple of things when I was talking about what is needed to do this project. And I mentioned paper towels, but you also need some kind of scraper, ideally, to make this work. So I'm just going to use a little metal putty knife to do this. Now I'm just going to let that set for a little bit to break down this material. Now at this point, I'm just gonna go outside and use a water hose to finish cleaning it up. I'm not gonna show that. It's a windy day outside, so I'll be right back in to finish putting this all back together. Okay, well, let's start putting this thing back together. Now, before we go any further, I do want to put some lubricant on those guides that we cleaned earlier. This comes with the XTool, and it's a large enough tube to last the life of this laser. Now, the honeycomb isn't much cleaner than it was when we began, but this thing is pretty difficult to get clean, but most of the excess buildup has been removed. All right, well, that's it. It's cleaned up and put back together. The only thing left to do now is test it and make sure it works.